Antonio Brown is one of the NFL's best players in the league right now. He's been the best wide receiver in the NFL for the last 5 seasons. His life seems easy, but I'm going to share a story of when Antonio Brown had to live on the streets and fight to survive. Antonio Devarius Brown was born on July 10th, 1988 in Liberty City, Miami. Liberty City has been described by many, but none were positive. The city even had a street nicknamed the Street of Death. Antonio went on to say that there's a lot of drug selling, gang violence, and a lot of things that happen as a kid you wouldn't want your own children to see. Antonio also said when he was in high school, every party ended in a shootout. As you can imagine, this was tough for Antonio to grow in, as he was surrounded by bad influences. Antonio's parents separated at a young age, and sadly, his father was never around. Antonio himself has expressed how hard it was growing up without a father figure in his life. Although his father never gave him affection and attention as a kid, there's one thing he did give him: genetics.
Instead of going up to get the ball, really just sort of shoot his hands up and never break stride, pull it down, and did some wonderful things after he caught the ball.
He was your type of receiver that could break the game open. I mean, he'd catch a 5-yard slant and turn it into 60 yards.
Antonio's dad, Eddie Brown, was one of the most famous arena football players of all time. According to Scout.com, he was voted as the greatest arena football player of all time, which included him beating out players such as Kurt Warner. Yes, you heard that correctly. Two-time NFL MVP and Super Bowl champion Kurt Warner. That's how we know Eddie Brown was for real. Antonio lived with his mother throughout most of his childhood. Keyword there, most. During Antonio's senior year in high school, his mom kicked him out of the house. This left Antonio homeless for around 6 months, where he had to bounce from house to house just to survive. During this rough time for Antonio, he said he didn't care that others gave up on him. He said, "You can't give up on yourself." These are the words that Antonio has built his legacy on. After his own dad didn't want to be around him, to his mom kicking him out of the house, to not even being ranked out of high school, Antonio was a man on a mission. Antonio attended Miami Norland High School. At his time there, he would play quarterback due to his coaches wanting the ball in his hands on every single play. Antonio played great throughout his high school career, but he remained unranked. One of the main reasons behind that was his size. Antonio was so small and skinny in high school, his nickname was Bony Tony. If that nickname doesn't speak for itself, I don't know what does. Antonio applied to Florida State his senior year, but was denied due to academic reasons. This is when Brown chose to attend North Carolina Prep to work on his grades for a year. This proved to be successful, because Antonio came back a year later and received a scholarship from Florida International University. Soon after Antonio arrived, his luck fell short once again. Antonio got into a conflict with one of the security guards on campus, which resolved in a fight. Those actions got Antonio kicked out of school. This made Antonio unmotivated, but luckily there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Zach Azzani, the wide receivers coach from Central Michigan, recruited Antonio. The only problem was they didn't need another quarterback. They told him if he wanted to spawn the team, he would have to play wide receiver. This position proved to be natural for Antonio, as in his first year playing receiver, he won the Mid-American Conference Freshman of the Year award. Antonio went on to produce great numbers for the next 3 years before declaring for the NFL draft. I'll let Antonio take over that night.
Buffalo Bills called my brother phone. My brother was like, "Hey, this Buffalo." And then I literally grabbed the phone, and then once I did like this, I looked down, there was a 412 number. And then I picked up that one. It was, I think, Coach Thomas. I was like, about time. You watch it happen on TV, your family's excited, everyone see your name, they say your stats or whatever, and you're just excited. I'm excited to meet Big Ben, I'm excited to learn the playbook, I'm excited to get up here and try to soak everything up and get to work.
And that's the end of Antonio's incredible story. I want to thank you guys all for watching and enjoy this final clip.
Taking it to 29 for Antonio. starts to his left, comes upfield, up the